What's up? Quazi here, and in today's video, I want to share with you how Neville Goddard's law of assumption literally changed my life. Throughout this video, I'm going to share with you how this law allowed me to manifest everything that I've ever wanted in my life. And by the end of it, I'm going to share with you a three keys to making this law of assumption work, because I know there's a lot of misconceptions about it, and that's why a lot of people stay stuck and they're unable to implement it. This video is going to be very rich with examples from other people's lives, from my own life, so that you totally understand the law of assumption, and it's probably going to be like something you've never seen before. So make sure you stick around to the very end. I'm super excited to share this with you. So if you're new to the channel and you don't know who I am, my name's Quazi Johir. Over the past 4 years, I've literally manifested everything that I've ever wanted in my life. I met my dream partner, got married to her. I manifested my dream business, quit my 9-to-5, and now my business generates over 100 grand a month every single month. I've gotten in the best shape of my life, health, wealth, relationships, and I feel very at peace. I live in this awesome home that we just bought in Florida. And throughout this channel, my goal is to help you guys manifest your dream lives as well. And that's why I do what I do, and that's why I share everything that I share in my channel. Today's video is about the law of assumption, and one of the most powerful things I've heard Neville Goddard talk about and discuss in his book. And I'm going to discuss with you why exactly it's so powerful, but I want to begin with the biggest misconceptions there are about the law of assumption, about the law of attraction, about manifestation. Most people have this skewed belief that they must believe in their manifestation in order for it to come into reality. How many times have you heard that, hey, I should be confident that it's going to happen? Oh no, I'm not confident, therefore it's not going to happen. Oh no, I don't believe in it, therefore it's not going to happen. It's complete BS, right? You don't need to believe at all. So to challenge that belief that you hold that you do need to believe, I'm going to ask you this. People who've broken records for the first time in their lives, did they really believe it was going to happen, or did they have faith that it was going to happen? The first time Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile barrier, do you think he believed that it would happen? Or did he have faith that somehow he was going to do it? He just didn't know how. Most of the time in my life when I've achieved something, it was from a complete lack of belief, okay? But it was a deep trust and a deep faith that I had that somehow it was going to happen. I assumed that it was going to happen, but it was almost a blind assumption, because belief works on what is already there. You look at your current reality and you see what is possible based on the laws of science and the laws of physics, and you're like, okay, this has happened in the past, therefore it is going to happen in the future. That is what belief is. The mind can only believe if it has proof, but if it doesn't have proof, it can't believe in something, right? Therefore, in order to create new things in our life from the imagination, things that haven't already manifested for you in your life, your dream business, your dream income, or whatever it may be, you have to first have the faith and you have to trust that it's going to happen. And then that is what brings it into reality from your imagination. So that is one of the biggest misconceptions there is in this space, which is you think that you need to believe and have confidence in yourself. You don't need any of that. What you need are trust and faith. So this is where assumption comes in. Let's talk about the mechanics of the law of assumption and why it works perfectly, like it's a perfect system. When you go and open a door, raise your hand, or do little tasks that just require you to have just some cognitive coordination of your arms and your limbs, what are you doing? You make an intention, you just go ahead and do it. Let's say I want to open a door. I make the assumption that the door will open. I make an assumption that it's going to open, and then it just opens. So in that way, we allow our imagination to be fulfilled into physical manifestation. We have a feeling that the door is going to open, that my hand is not going to miss, or even if it does, I'll correct it. It's simple. There isn't a lot of importance to it. But when it comes to our goals of, I want to make this much money a month in my business, I want to grow it, I want to get this person's attention, then it becomes so important. It becomes wildly, inflatedly important. And that's why we're not able to do it. Because guess what happens when we think about all of those big things in our lives? We get into our heads about it. We start to rationalize about it, and our intention doesn't work at its optimal capacity. When you're doing simple things like opening a door, your intention is at play. You're not thinking about where to place your arm so you twist. You just do it. You just go ahead and do it, right? That's it. You have one thought and it gets translated directly into an intention. So that's what's so powerful about the law of assumption. It works directly with your intention. What makes our goals manifest into reality isn't just physical action or anything else. It's literally your intention. The intention is what precedes everything else. It begins with the intention, not even the desire. The desire is what makes you want it, but the intention is what moves you towards it or what moves it towards you. So that's what we want. That's what the mechanics of this law of assumption really is. It's literally like opening a door. I want to give you another example of me playing golf. I've started playing golf like a year and a half ago, and I struggled with it so much at first. It's such a difficult sport. I think it's one of the hardest sports ever. And when I began, I couldn't hit the ball at all. But just this morning, after having worked on it for a while, I've just hit my first 290-yard drive, literally down the middle, right? And I was so proud of it because that's like tour quality. That's what tour players do, like professional players do. And I never thought I'd be able to do it because my coach in the past told me that, it takes 3 years or 2 years for you to get to like a 250-yard drive. It'll take you a couple years to do that. And so I listened to all of those things and I started to believe in it. I started to think that, that is the norm. I started to assume that that is the norm. But what if that wasn't the norm? I changed my assumption when I learned about this law, and I felt deep down, wait a second, maybe it is possible. I don't know how, but I'm going to persist. And one thing led to another. I found the right coach who challenged my beliefs, which is what good coaches do. And as a result, I started to think, you know what? I don't know if it's possible or not, but I have faith and I trust that somehow I will get there. And I did. And this is how elite players, kind of like Tiger Woods, they always get back to the top because they have this deep assumption within themselves that somehow they will do it. They've done it before, they will do it again. So that's why this assumption is so powerful, because when you assume, what you are literally doing is you're operating from the end state. If I assume that I'm going to be a successful business owner, that I already have a successful business that is doing multi-millions, and I begin at the end, then everything I do now will form a literal bridge to bridge my current situation with my desired situation. So to give you a more concrete example of that, whenever I'm doing a marketing strategy for my business and I have a particular goal with it, I visualize and I assume that this goal has been achieved, everything is going well. What does life look like once this goal has been achieved? Then I operate from that state. And when I feel those feelings that I would feel once the goal has been achieved now instead of then, and I do what's necessary now. For example, right now it's necessary for me to make an email for this marketing campaign, or create a new ad for this marketing campaign, or make this video for this marketing campaign. But I do this video with the assumption that my wish is fulfilled. Somehow it has happened. I don't know how. I don't believe. There's nothing to do with belief or confidence. I just know somehow that it's happened. That's the fundamental difference between belief and faith, right? Belief is confidence in the known. Faith is confidence in the unknown. That's the only way I would put it. That's how things have happened in my life. I've always begun at the end and I've visualized what my life would look like. When I began in this journey back in 2018, 2019, I was always visualizing like me waking up in my mansion in LA next to my dream partner. I would go downstairs in my mansion. I would feel a certain way. I'd feel accomplished, fulfilled, like everything's perfect, everything is in great harmony. Go to my car, this red Ferrari that I had, and I forgot the keys, and then my wife would bring it and then throw it to me, and I would catch it and then ride out into the town. That's what I visualized for a very long time. And I've always had that feeling brought into everything that I did. That was my reality. That vision was my reality. This was the illusion. This current reality is an illusion that just needed to catch up. And that's exactly what's happened now, right? That's what's possible for you if you learn to withdraw your attention from your current reality and operate from that end state. Another example I want to give you is when I was making these videos. When I started off making YouTube videos, I was very unconfident. I didn't know if people would listen to me. I had a lot of doubts regarding, hey, I'm just this 21-year-old kid. Who am I to talk about life and manifestation or even coach clients? Now we have over 900 clients from all ages. We have 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, we have 50-year-olds that I coach that look up to me, that look to me for advice. But I never questioned, like now, my reality is different from then. If I were to get all of those things, all of the things that I have now, and someone just came up, knocked on my door and gave it to me. Here you go, here's $1 million business, here's all of these clients, and here's everything that you've ever wanted. I wouldn't know what to do with it because I wasn't ready. So what this assumption does is the more you strengthen this assumption, the more you visualize and operate from the end and your feeling gets stronger, the more it becomes natural for you to experience your ideal reality. That is the power of it. The more it feels natural for you to turn the door, more it becomes natural for you to raise your hand because you know what it feels like. It's a familiar feeling now. So that's what we're doing when we assume. One key point I want you to take away from this is assumption is not a belief, okay? Assumption, when we want to use the law of assumption to its fullest extent, it is literally a blind faith and trust, okay? It is faith plus trust. And Neville Goddard is notorious for talking about faith and the power of it. So now I want to give you 3 keys to help you implement the law of assumption in your life every single day so you can begin to see immediate results from it. Key number 1, assume that goal will be achieved. I want to point out an important distinction here. When we assume that all of the goals that we have are going to be achieved, we are leaving it is an open-ended way of achieving the goal. We don't care how it's achieved. Most of the time we get discouraged because we don't know how we're going to do something. If you do not know how you will get to that mansion in LA and that red Ferrari or whatever, I didn't know, right? That's okay. That's completely okay. Just stick to visualizing that end goal right now, what you want, and that feeling right now. Because guess what? That feeling will both consciously and unconsciously manifest circumstances in your life that will create that bridge between your current and your desired reality. I'll give you a direct example. I was visualizing that for a while, and I had the idea to start up a YouTube channel. But back then I was in college finishing up my junior year, I believe. And I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, but I knew for a fact that I didn't want to do engineering because I was in a summer internship and it was completely depressing and my colleagues wanted to kill themselves. They were sticking their arms in the fucking machines to get workers' comp, right? That's how bad it was. So I was like, hell no, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. What do I want instead? So then I started visualizing, I started learning about all of this stuff. Admittedly, I didn't read about Neville Goddard's work back then, but I started to learn about manifestation, the law of attraction, the law of assumption. I've heard it here and there, but I started practicing it and visualizing the end goal and feeling what it would feel like to have it now. And lo and behold, I started to meet people around me. My energy attracted people around me who were living the life that I wanted. I had this one friend, Raphael. He had his own dropshipping business, which was online. He was traveling the world doing what he wanted, and he was making around 10K a month. My buddy Arlen, he was at the time selling merch on his YouTube channel, and he was making around 10K a month doing what he wanted to. He was living the dream. And these guys were in their 19, 20 years old. So I was like, damn, I want that, right? So that could be a potential way for me to get to that mansion in LA and that Ferrari and that dream partner, right? I started to become closer friends with them, started to learn what they did, and I had the idea of, hey, why don't I start a YouTube channel? Maybe I can sell some merch. But that's not what I wanted to do. But that's an idea I had, right? And that's okay. Whatever ideas you have are okay. You need to explore them. So I started to make videos, and I made videos for a year until one day someone reached out to me for coaching. And I was like, wait, you would pay for coaching? I didn't know that would happen. That's when the light bulbs went off. It's like, oh, wait, I can sell coaching. I can deliver results to my clients and help them do this. And that can allow me to live my dream life. So that's exactly what happened, right? That's how this bridge was created. Do you see that? I operated from the end. I operated from that assumption that somehow it will happen. I don't know how yet, and that's okay. That's completely fine. You might be struggling right now. Your business might be struggling. You might have been stuck at the same revenue level for the past 3 years and you don't know how you're going to get past it. Just be patient. It's going to happen. You just need to be patient. That's number 1. Assume that the goal will somehow be achieved. And we don't care how, but it will be achieved. We just know. We just have this blind trust that either it will be achieved or you will reincarnate back again and you will achieve it. Okay, that's completely fine too. That's something we've embedded ourselves with. Okay, we just made the assumption it's going to be achieved and that's it. There's no other arguing that. You've made the decision, that's it. Right? Number 2, and this is absolutely crucial, you've got to withdraw your attention from your current reality. What do I mean by this? Everything that you're seeing around you right now is false. It's an illusion. Why? Because you didn't choose it. If you didn't choose it, it's not real. Okay, that's our new definition of reality moving forward. And we've got to be incredibly biased. The greatest reality creators are incredibly biased. If you look at athletes, especially golfers, I was reading this book. I think this guy called Tom Kite or something, he was incredibly biased. Every time he would have a bad round, he would think that it's an anomaly. Every time he would have a good round, he would think, no, that was what was meant to happen. So he wasn't objective about it. He was completely subjective, right? And in that way, he shapes his psychology. And that's how he became a champion caliber golfer. Because he was like, oh, I've just had 5 bad holes. Okay, I needed to have these 5 bad holes in order for me to get to the 13 good holes that I'm gonna have. And then he wins, right? But then when he has 13 good holes, he doesn't say, oh, I need to have 5 bad holes now to compensate for the good holes I've had. No. If there are good holes, it was meant to happen. If he shot a bad round, then it was meant to happen to allow him to get the good. So this is how you withdraw your attention from your current reality. You become biased. You're like, okay, whatever is happening right now needed to happen in order for me to get to where I want to get to. And that's true, right? Oftentimes all of these struggles and obstacles need to happen because at the end of it, you learn a crucial lesson. It doesn't matter what lesson it is. You just need to hold in mind the lesson that you take away from it. This is real meta. But a lot of people don't think about it that way because we become so objective. We're like, if this is bad, then it's bad. No, bad is good and good is good. There is no bad. That's what needs to happen in order for you to create that bridge between your current and your desired reality. Seriously. Neville talks about this a lot. I think he talks about this story of withdrawing the blood from one bird, like this biblical story, and putting the blood into the other bird, the bird that you want to manifest, the bird symbolizing the reality you want to manifest. So that's number 2. Number 3, interesting part, place your attention on anything that confirms goal. What do I mean by this? Now that we've withdrawn attention, we've made the assumption that somehow we're going to get to our goal. Let's say you want to grow a 20K a month business. Your business is doing 5K a month. You still can't quite fully do it full time because maybe you're not making enough profit. Maybe you're not making enough money from it. You're like, all right, I want to fully grow this business to 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, get it to 20K a month. I'm assuming that is exactly what's going to happen, and that's done. That's the assumption. Now you look at your current situation where you're stuck, things aren't going well, things are constantly breaking, you withdraw your attention from it. That is allowed to exist. Bad things are allowed to exist. We're not resisting it. By withdrawing our attention, I'm not talking about taking it away and just like pushing it and being like, no, that's denial. That's not selective withdrawal of attention. What we want to do is a selective withdrawal of attention. It's like you have you get on a train and there's a crazy person screaming in that carriage. What do? You don't just resist that crazy person. You're like, stop. No, you just put your headphones in and you listen to something else. You tune it out. So tune out your current reality. Exactly like that. And number 3, now we want to place our attention on anything that confirms progress towards the desired reality. To give an example of that, in your 5K a month business, I am sure there are a couple things that are going well. Hey, you have a 5K a month business. If you've gotten to 5K a month, you can get to 20K a month. The first 5K is the hardest. So in this manner, you've got to learn to become biased. Confirm every little thing that signifies progress. Because guess what we're doing when we confirm? We're getting back into that state, that feeling of the wish fulfilled. The more you complain or you have a bad attitude, look at your circumstances and it makes you feel down, then that feeling is what is going to manifest. We want to get back into the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Everything is happening well. Everything is going as it should. This too is part of the process. It's okay if we're stuck here. That's fine. Hey, look, there are a couple good things going on. Let's focus on that. Place more of your attention and energy on things that you're grateful for, things that are working out. Because guess what? Like if you look around you, you'll probably see like millions of other people who don't have half of what you have right now. So that's just putting things into perspective. With that, I conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. These are the 3 keys. I will recommend one video, a reference video that you must watch, an interview that I did with my client Ubaid, who used this principle of affirming and then confirming progress to help him go from 0, and he was living in a war zone and he grew his business to 40K a month now, and this dude is like 17, 18 years old. Click on the link in the description to check that out. That is going to be a very, very powerful video for you because it's a real life example and he's going to share with you how he's done it as well. So click on the link for that interview. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell there so you're notified of any new video that I put up. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Peace.